다른 주소가 아니 차상 애들이 아니 자가간다 자도 아니 칠텐디 시비 군나가 자도다 애들한테 새로 보면 이제 상관없이 해야 돼요. 저들이当时老蒙古人的呀，这个然后接不下去的，白纸时代这个，当时推出，可能老的这个，但是说呀，就成不来，把这里的这个关系，现在有其他这个不够成不的，让搞不中，俺出去。当年了，这样的入住，这个样的看着，这个老村，这里不承认，我家子的啥个，他掏钱的，人家什么老的啊，这些类的，这样的入住的，马上就碰不了多，碰拥有的多，这张开始投诉来路到是完美的。两个婆婆到是吸了钱要那个，这看到咱老中也这可多了，这平时也用的可多了，咱老中现在这个就周军个让鸡吧，现在参考，那这里是关的开始啥的事。可是对这里啊，老中现在特殊的这个self-centered的，后来干着这个这样这个的话，这个样这个特殊说出来他就是带开不开药嘛的。
This will not guarantee being self-centered will give you any benefit and sense of comfort.
Obviously, we are social animals. Therefore, you see, one's own future very much depends on the rest of the community. So therefore, therefore, I think the best way to gain more happiness oneself, pay more attention about the well-being of others. That's the right way. So therefore, our young people now who just now growing and start your life, please pay more attention about our inner value. That's very important. In the West, in America, in Europe, the education, generally speaking, very highly developed. But among those people who really, as far as education is concerned, and also their economic condition also is very good, but as a person, I found many cases very unhappy person. What is wrong? Plenty of money, very good education, still not happy. So therefore, in order to be happy life, material value alone not sufficient. We must look our inner value. Then our life becomes more fuller and also then be more happier. So that's very important. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Just raise your hands, those who are Tibetan students. The Tibetans, the Tibetan students. Next, Bhutanese students.
Oh yeah, what is that? That's the next one. Can that happen?
Any Ladakis?
Look at this.
Ladakis students?
Oh, Turkish father. Okay. Yeah.
It has been almost 50 years that we Tibetans became exiled. In Tibet for the last 50 years, there has been a terrible, very sad instances that happened. And particularly in the last year, it was really a very sad thing that happened in Tibet.
Military operation.
In Tibet, the last year, particularly the incident that happened since 10th March, the situation in Tibet really became so intensified, and particularly it became very much repressed by the Chinese communists, and because of which it really turned out to be much more like a military camp.
Unfortunately, some of those concerned Chinese communist officials, well, some leaders also, they consider so long Tibetan unique cultural heritage remains, so long Tibetan spirit remains there, they consider that is sort of danger of separation, Tibet from people from China. So therefore, they really aiming systematically elimination Tibetan unique cultural heritage and Tibetan spirit with Tibetan Buddhist faith. So therefore, since last year, now I am telling, describing the present situation of Tibet is something like the ancient nation with unique cultural heritage now passing through something like death sentence. So things are very, very serious. So the inside situation, the more serious we refugee community now must determine. Because we are here in free country. We, last 50 years, we lost our own home. But we found very, very happy new home, this country, in India. When we are free, we always sort of consider it is great opportunity to visit India, because India is a land of spirituality, and particularly Buddha himself, if you come from India, Buddha Indian, and many great Buddhist masters are Indian. And particularly, many of these masters come from South India. so, so I always telling my friend, and sometimes a little joke, I tell him, I have more respect to South Indian. South Indian's brain is something very special. Whether true or not, I don't know. But emotionally, we really feel, because of Nagarjuna, all these great masters of Buddha Dharma, you see, most of them come from South India, like that. So in any way, one Tibetan scholar, about I think 600 years ago, he,
in his writings.
In his writing, he expressed like that. Tibet, land of snow. Naturally, color of snow is white. But he mentioned, still Buddha Dharma come from India, that land of snow still dark. After light of Buddhism from India reached Tibet, then Tibet become light. Right.
Bright.
Oh, God.
Bright.
God.
Right.
Right. Oh, like that. So therefore, Bharat, India, is our spiritual home. So last 50 years. Anyway, we are refugees and homeless. But anyway, our spiritual real home. Besides that, when Pandit Nehru, he took special sort of interest, special concern about the Tibetan refugee community, Tibetan refugees. Then also this Karnataka state, then Mysore state, late Nityalingappa, he personally showing genuine concern about it. So after Pandit Nehru request some allocation of land for Tibetan refugee community, right to some chief minister of some state, best response come from Mysore state. So as a result, now this state, Tibetan refugee community, number of Tibetan refugee community, now nearly 40,000. Right? All very happy. I'm quite sure if Mr. Nityalingappa still alive, I think we will enjoy it. So anyway, last 50 years, we, Tibetan refugee community, besides we carry Tibetan spirit on behalf of 6 million Tibetans inside Tibet. Besides that, we also look after ourselves, resettlement. And then, main thing is education. Again here, Pandit Nehru, personally, special sort of interest, special sort of care. At that time, we tried to raise Tibetan issue at UN. Pandit Nehru, not favor. He says, that's not much use. Inside that, we raised at UN. So at that time, Pandit Nehru personally told me, the real method to keep the Tibetan issue alive is give proper education for younger generation. It is very true. So therefore, we since 60, now 59 April, we reached Mussoorie. Within 1 year, at summer 60, we start, or I think spring month, I can't remember now. Spring 60, still we are Mussoorie. We start first our school. Then students, quite young, sort of youth, about 50 of them. Then with that, we start first school, Mussoorie. So now these our master, master.
No.
That is all these people at that time, I think very young. So in any way, since then, our main effort for education. So I think quite successful, quite satisfactory result. Last 50 years. Generally, education standard. I mean, Tibetan in this country as a refugee is much better than Tibetan inside our own country. That's, I think, one of our great achievements. In the meantime, in this state, because the facility better, so major monastic institution of Tibet also established in this state. Now, monk students in this state, nearly 10,000. They are studying traditional or Buddhist, or traditional way, or Buddhist philosophy, study, which is actually, I think, similar tradition of Nalanda Buddhist institution. Because 8th century, one of great master of Nalanda, a Buddhist great scholar, philosopher, as well as logician, his name Chantarakshita. On the invitation of Tibetan Emperor, Chantarakshita, at that time quite old, over 70 years old, I think like my age, 74, like that. Then he accepted Tibetan Emperor's invitation, and he personally went to Tibet, and then that's why his life remained there. So Tibetan Buddhism established by such Nalanda scholar, logician, as well as a philosopher. So naturally, the teacher of such sort of quality, he naturally wants his students to become like that. So therefore, the Tibetan Buddhist study or Tibetan Buddhism is pure lineage of Nalanda institution. So the way study with logic, in Tibetan bigger institution, these tradition is still kept. So we carry these traditions in our institution, in these bigger monastic institutions now existing in Karnataka state. So now reflect on these factors, and we really feel grateful.
Grateful
to Government of India And then, particularly, for sake of, so without their help, without their blessing, we cannot develop this kind of situation like that. That's it. That's it. That's full of. I'm going to say to we are. That they can look to the. So, Maran's never couldn't chat the other. If Lolia never said, Marshall said, Man's Yashi Miman deity, I made this was daddy, Chamber Tane, some other days all over, who go to this, and one of them. There something inside the Tane, who go to you must be in the Torah, big head. What's wrong?
So, having started this institute for higher education, with the Tibetan students who are going to get the opportunity here, we should keep in mind and not forget the plight of the Tibetan people, the major Tibetan people who reside in Tibet, how difficult a situation they are in, and keeping these in mind, we should really feel it a great opportunity. We should be feeling great, fortunate to be getting such opportunity studying in such colleges.
Shiri Dashi Mimandi, Luguti, Taiwan warrior, Hamdash daddy already, in a 70, in a 2 daddy. The delivery in this, that of the Samunaria, Shiri Dashi Mimandi, Raja Sashinda, Sabatane, and a lot of Kujisha.
The majority of the Tibetan people who are there in our own homeland Tibet, although their bodies are there in Tibet, but their minds are directed towards the Tibetan people here in exile, in a free country. So we should feel, the Tibetan youngsters should be feeling that, we are the objects of hopes of these Tibetans in Tibet. So on that basis, with that in mind, we should really struggle and be determined and put effort in our education. And we also have the Bhutanese students here, boys and girls, and you also attended this inauguration ceremony with great joy. And in fact, you also share the same Buddhist culture and tradition with the Tibetans. And in fact, it's all those along the Himalayan range that share the same culture and same religion. So we use the same translations, the Kanjur and Tenjur, as our basis of studies. So we have to keep in mind that the modern education that you are trained in should be combined, should be complemented by our traditional studies and traditional values. And these two must go together because we have body and mind. And on the basis of this, having this body, we need, of course, we need modern education, which is meant to enhance material comfort, material progress. And it is not the physical body that we have. We also have mental, we also have mind. So we also need mental happiness, for which our traditional values, traditional culture, and religion will be of benefit. So we should make it a point to have these two, the study of the modern education and the study of traditional heritage combined together.
아니 사실에 소수 판이 리슌디 그 차대기가 이제 뭐 이들산에 소수 미리지 아이덴티티 이게 차요. 그래서 나중에 떠들지 아주 가봐이네리 자도 그보이네리 히말라야 지주 무지네리 소소소 아이덴티티 이 충격 이 차는 있는 내가 또
And secondly, this traditional study of Buddhism and religion also embodies our own identities. Whether you are Bhutanese or Tibetans or those along the Himalayan ranges, this study of the heritage, culture, our Buddhist values, these become our heritage and these become our identity. So we should again cherish that as well for that reason.
So then finally, my thanks to concerned people for working this institution. And this now we already one sort of university sort of level institution that's done up. Now formally recognized as a university. So that's in north. Now it is very good. Now south, also another university, as you mentioned. So one in north, one in south, and some positive competition. That could be useful. So I really thank all the concerned people, and then also thank those sort of supporters, sort of the friends. You come here, particularly you come here. I very much appreciate. And I think that's all. Thank you. Okay.